They always say it's the forbidden things that cut the deepest, but no one ever warns you about what follows once the line is crossed. This isn't just a tale of betrayal, it's a story about lost boundaries, blurred trust, and a kind of love that doesn't fit into the neat boxes we're taught to believe in. My name is Elizabeth. I used to be known for being reliable, the kind of woman who never missed sending a birthday card and folded towels just right. I kissed my husband, David, every morning even though the gesture had long lost its meaning. David was predictable, quiet, the same man I'd known for 2 decades. Our life together was safe, steady, and still, until Ethan arrived. Ethan came into our home when he was 16, after years of being passed around the system. He barely spoke, barely looked up. I saw pieces of myself in his silence, old wounds I never talked about, and maybe that's why I opened up more than I should have. I poured my heart into giving him stability, patience, and affection. He began to change slowly, and I told myself this is what care looks like. But something changed along the way, and I didn't stop it. Or maybe I saw it and simply refused to believe it. One evening, with David working late and the house unusually still, I went upstairs. Ethan had already said goodnight, but I felt drawn to check in. His door was cracked open. I knocked, but there was no reply. I peeked inside, and that moment is burned into my memory. He was lying on his bed, shirt off, jeans open, clearly in a vulnerable and private moment. I should have turned around. I should have said nothing and walked away. But I didn't. I stayed. And when his eyes met mine, wide with panic and shame, something in me fractured. I didn't retreat. I stepped inside and quietly shut the door. The silence between us was crushing. Then I whispered, "It's okay." Words I still regret. Words that weren't true. He looked at me like I was the only person who had ever really seen him. Then he said he thought about me often, even though he knew it was wrong. Before I could even think clearly, my hand moved to his cheek. He leaned in and kissed me, nervous, unsure, and I didn't stop him. I kissed him back. It was brief, just seconds, but in that moment, something in me collapsed and rearranged itself in a way I can't fully explain. In that moment, I wasn't his mother. He wasn't just some troubled boy anymore. In that moment, he was a person, lost, reaching, and I gave him something I now wish I hadn't. I want to tell you it ended right there. That I found the strength to stop it. But I didn't. After that night, everything shifted. I couldn't face myself. I avoided mirrors, avoided David, and Ethan started avoiding me. The silence in our house became unbearable. It wasn't angry, it was worse than that. It was hollow and cold, full of unspoken guilt. David asked me what was wrong. I told him it was nothing, just stress, just life. But the truth was, the life I had built had already fallen apart. A few nights later, I was sitting alone in the kitchen with a glass of wine, trying to quiet the ache inside me. Ethan appeared in the doorway. His voice was low when he said, "We need to talk." I didn't even turn to look at him. I whispered, "We can't. This isn't right." But he stepped closer, closing the distance that should have stayed there. He told me it wasn't a mistake, that I had felt it too, that he had loved me since the day he walked into our home. My body trembled, my breath caught. I didn't want to feel anything, but the fire inside me said otherwise. And then, right as he reached out for my hand, the front door opened. David walked in early. He saw us, saw how close we were, saw my face, saw Ethan's retreat. There was no need for questions. He knew. Ethan quickly left the room. I stayed behind, frozen. Later that night, David confronted me, his voice low, broken. He asked what was going on. I didn't defend myself. I didn't lie. I said, something happened. That was all it took. I watched his face fall apart, like I had just crushed everything he thought we still had. He packed a bag and left. Didn't yell, didn't beg, just walked out. The divorce didn't take long. He took the house, the dog, and the steady life we once shared. I moved into a small apartment, stayed with a friend for a while, trying to figure out who I even was anymore. Ethan moved out, too. We never really spoke about it again. Sometimes we'd run into each other. A glance, a quick nod, that was it. Once, months later, he messaged me. Just a sentence. "You ruined everything." And he wasn't wrong. I don't know what I thought would come from that one night. Maybe I believed it would vanish. But those moments don't just disappear. They live with you. They creep into your quiet nights, sit on the edge of your bed, and whisper what you tried to bury. The truth doesn't go away. And neither does the shame. Now I live alone. There's a photo of David and me on my desk, faded and curling at the edges. I still look at it sometimes and wonder who I might have become if that night had never happened. Or maybe I wonder if I was ever really the person I tried so hard to be. I'm not sharing this story because I want pity. I'm not searching for forgiveness. I'm not even sure I deserve it. I'm telling it because the truth is, some of the worst choices we make aren't part of a plan, they just happen. Sometimes love gets warped into something unfamiliar, something dangerous. And sometimes, being seen, really, deeply seen by someone, isn't healing. It's what breaks you. My name is Elizabeth Morgan. And this is the price I paid for crossing a line I can never take back. Thank you for staying with me through this raw and difficult story. If this tale moved you, challenged you, or made you reflect, don't forget to subscribe to this channel for more real-life stories that dig beneath the surface. Every story shared here reminds us that behind every quiet smile, there are truths we may never guess. Tap the notification bell so you never miss another one. Your support means everything. This story is a fictional dramatization created for entertainment and educational purposes. Any resemblance to actual persons, living or dead, or real events is purely coincidental. Viewer discretion is advised due to mature themes. Thank you once more for taking the time to listen to this story. Your presence here means more than you know. If this tale left an impression, don't forget, there's always another chapter, another secret, another truth waiting just around the corner. Subscribe, stay close, and come back for the next story. You won't want to miss what's coming next. Until then, take care, and thank you again for being here.